All right, gotta say good evening to each and every one of you that is currently watching the live here. Welcome to another edition of Let's Chat on Guyanese Own Businesses. It's Tuesday, April 22nd, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. My name is Wazim. I'll be the host for the next hour or so with you tonight. As you can tell, I have a few guests with me. This is the first time we have multiple guests on, and I have first, I'll do a quick introduction of them and then a brief intro of each person on the live with me, and then I'll have them introduce themselves and their businesses. First, I have Wasim Khan out in Guyana. We spoke to each and every one of these guys here before. So he's the owner of Genie Solutions and Naked Hangers, along with his wife, Miss Cindy. Also, Anil is on the check-in. Anil Sarwan is on here too from the Great Canadian Oil Change here in the Toronto area. And Mr. Rishi Singh from Remax Community, also serving the Greater Toronto area. So thank you,
Hello, everyone.
gentlemen, for joining me here tonight, and welcome to everyone that's just tuning in while go on a round table and start with Wasim here. He's to my left top. So Wasim, Anil, Rishi. We'll go into that order. So Wasim, please go ahead and introduce yourself again to the
All
viewers.
right. So thanks, Wazim, and it's a pleasure being here again and with a panel this night. I'm
Yes.
looking forward to a very exciting conversation. So I'm here in cool Georgetown, Guyana. We had rain almost the entire day, and so you know what that happens when night set in. A lot of crickets, a lot of frogs chirping, crocketing, but it's a nice cool night. I'm sitting in office here right now, and as you said earlier, we have two businesses, Naked Hangers, which is a unisex boutique, and it's owned by my wife basically, and she's the fashionista, and I'm running Genie Solutions, which we operate an over-the-counter drug operation, along with services. You can pay your bills, you can pay your loans. You can ask, we got a lottery very recently, just a month ago. So now you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance. And we are also doing other stuff like tax returns. We're getting into flights and booking vacations and so on. So the Genie solution is now unfolding basically as to the different layers that we want to address. But we're coming to come as it goes.
Very good. Thank you for that. And Anil, please go ahead.
As everyone would know, I'm no stranger to this program. Anil Sarwan, Great Canadian All Change. And as you guys know, that we are located at 1303 Kennedy Road in Scarborough. Of course, the telephone number 416-757-7817. Um, yeah, like I said, I'm no stranger to this program. Glad to be among these guys, to pick their brains a little bit, to see where we're at and how we can feed off of each other on this program. Looking forward to hearing some detailed advice from both Rishi and I gotta say WK, if you don't mind me calling you that.
That's
So I don't get mixed up with who it was and we were talking about. Yeah, but definitely wanna bounce ideas off and hear how things are in different area and different businesses that we, you know, among our community.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Anil and Rishi. Your turn.
Hey everyone, good night. As you know, I'm Rishi Singh. I'm from Remax Community. I should be at home for this call. I knew about it a long time ago, but when you're in the real estate business, you're working 24 hours. So right now I'm just in the Western City. Sorry for be sitting in my car and doing this interview, but happy to be with you. If you have any questions, please shout out and ready to discuss, guys. Let's have a conversation.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you so much. As you guys heard, we've got a panel here tonight with us, with Wasim, with Anil, and Rishi joining. And for the folks that are watching, welcome. It's Tuesday, April 22nd, just minutes after 7 Eastern Time here in Canada and in beautiful Guyana, where Wasim is joining us from. It's always a pleasure to have someone from our beautiful country logging
home.
in with us.
Absolutely,
From home,
absolutely.
right? From home. You feel it right away. And for the folks that will be watching the video after the live here on Facebook, and also please do go to YouTube. I do upload the video right after the show onto our YouTube channel, Guyanese Own Businesses. So it's a panel discussion. We hear, as you heard a little bit about the business, we got into details in our previous interviews. If you missed those conversations, feel free to go back on the page or go to YouTube and check out the conversations I had individually with these gentlemen and about their businesses. But here it's a panel discussion. We heard to bounce ideas off of each other, see how it's going. So I'm going to start off. Who wants to take this? How has social media changed the way business is done today? Let's go with Wasim first, and let's see what that is from Guyana. How has that been?
Well, it's quite interesting, and I don't think social media has changed the way business is done. I think COVID has changed the way business
Mm.
is done.
Agree.
Hmm.
And yeah, and so social media, which was always around, is now repurposed. You know, so
Correct.
a lot of people now are selling online. Facebook Marketplace is a big thing here, and what you find is that they I don't want to call it lazy, but some people just don't have the time, you know, to get out. They One of the factors in Guyana to deal with now is traffic. You know, before time you could jump in a vehicle within 10, 15 minutes to meet where you're going across Georgetown or so. That's the thing of the past. Traffic is quite heavy from, let me say, just 5 short years ago to where we are now. So to leave your home or your office quick at lunchtime to get something done and get back in, it's almost impossible, right? So social media now has taken up that void, and so promoting your stuff. For instance, both Naked Hangers and Ginny, we go heavy, especially Naked Hangers, on social media, and you find you have a lot of hits there where people actually deal with you there, take you into WhatsApp, and then you make a sale without even having to come into the store. Where you guys are from, I mean, that's nothing new. Everybody on Amazon and eBay and the stores are all online. And you could click and buy, and it's a normal thing. But for us here, it's something that is button, and so it's a bit different. It's a more personal approach because the social media, for instance, you go to marketplace, but you have to actually chat with a rep from wherever, whoever is selling. So you have direct contact with a human, not an AI, and you have that sale being made if you have questions or what have you. So we find that it certainly COVID has changed a lot of stuff. We couldn't come out at the time, and so they resorted to these avenues. And now that COVID has subsided more or less, um, it has remained. Even this where we are right now, this call, these things were available prior to 2019. But how much people and how much businesses were making use of it,
True.
right? Yeah,
True.
but being lonely or being isolated is a thing that make you think hard because survival is necessary. And so here we are now using these platforms that were there, right? So
Yes.
I think it's a good impact in terms of a business. We can reach a lot farther than where we can as a store standing on a street corner, because we, for instance, at Naked Hangers, we have people hitting you up from Linden, from Borbis, from as far as Esquibo. And while some of them we cannot fulfill the desire because of the distance and the logistics of getting a parcel, for instance, to Esquibo Post, the fact is we're being seen. And we have cases where people actually, when they come to town, they come and look for your business, right? Because
Hmm.
now they can actually come to see where you are. So it has definitely positively impacted us at this end.
Gentlemen, anything you want to add to
Yeah,
that?
no, definitely. I would echo the sentiments that what WK has. The one thing I will say, I don't have a tangible in terms of shipping something to the customer, but we definitely use social media to good effects. I mean, our marketing team, I mean, we're on Instagram, uses to promote. As you guys would know, we're a franchise business, so we definitely use a lot of social media. In terms of Amazon, the convenience as a businessman, I love it, and not to use the word lazy at all, um, but for me, it's very convenient for me. You can sit at home or you can sit at work and get stuff done. Like the other day, I was printing some stuff and my toner run out. And you know what? Next morning I had my toner there. I don't have to drive. I can focus on working my business as opposed to going on the road looking for stuff. And I know it takes five or 10 minutes,
Yeah.
but let me tell you, 5 or 10 minutes of
It's
someone running a business, it's a mountain of time that's needed to
Yeah.
get stuff done. For me, especially
Mhm.
if I go on the road, it takes me at least an hour before I can head back to work. And you guys would know the traffic in Toronto is the same, maybe the same as Guyana would be. So the inconvenience is there sometimes.
Yeah. I think it's
For
worse
you on
here
the road.
because we just don't have enough
The
roads.
roads, right? The
Yeah.
capacity.
We
Yeah.
just don't have enough roads. And
Yeah, no,
like
I go
like
ahead,
if
go ahead.
you Avenue Republic, when John Finance lose two or three container truck out the wharf there, and they turn from Avenue Republic, God
Mhm.
be with you because you live
Mhm.
there. The
That's it.
manga shimmer, forget to
Yeah,
come down the street. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. I was there.
yeah. There you go.
And
But I
Rishi,
have
how
to
about
say this.
you? Oh,
I have to
sorry. Go
say
ahead,
this
man.
before you go. I have to go on to Rishi. Um, and I wanted to pose this question. I always get into the argument with Rishi. Well, not argument. We always have a conversation. Why is he not on social media as a realtor? So I'm gonna let him explain.
Yeah. I was waiting for
Thanks for
that. I was
calling
waiting
me
for
up, man.
Pick
Thanks
it
for
trouble
calling me
it.
up. Those are private conversation.
Okay, okay.
that.
Anyways, to touch on the topic about social media and real estate, it is such a big thing. And I think I've mentioned it the first time that I came on the show that I'm a little camera shy. In person, I will talk your head off and I'll give you all the information that requires. If you ask me about a property, I will tell you everything that you need to know on some. But when it comes to social media, I feel like it takes some getting used to. And I don't know what is the fear I need to get over something, but social media for real estate is a big thing. And recently, our office has been forcing us into that direction and more so to implement AI in our business. Because what a lot of people are doing is, which I need to get there because I'm not camera friendly, I'm very shy with that. But there's a lot of faceless information that's being put out there with AI. So basically you have so much resources that could create a video with your voice and mimic it to the T. And
Mhm.
if you're shy to be in front of the camera, it's just something that I'm working on right now to overcome that where I can be comfortable in front of the camera. But in the meantime, I'm working on something to see how I can get myself out there without being in front of the camera and get the message across. And to touch on WK's point that he said earlier regarding COVID that forced us into this direction so fast, I think it was something that we were heading. It's just that we were forced to get there very
Faster.
fast. And
Faster.
I mean,
Yeah.
look how we're communicating at the moment, right? Like we
Mhm.
were not thinking about doing this prior to COVID, right? And whoever did that in the initial stages are very successful now, right? So
Mhm.
Yes.
I mean, I am lagging behind in that department significantly. And to Anil's point, he always asks me, why are you not on social media? And it's just something that I need to overcome and get myself out there a bit more. So, yeah,
But
social media is extremely big in real estate.
Rishi, let me ask you a
Yes.
question. So you're a real estate agent. So you have an independent business. I know Remax is a brand, correct?
Remax is a franchise and every
A
office is
franchise.
independently owned.
So your office is independently owned as a
Yes,
Remax agent.
correct.
Right.
No, not necessarily with me. I work for
Uh,
someone who owns an office.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
right. So
So
every
is
like
that office advertising?
that office advertised quite a bit. Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, we have a page that sometimes I share their stuff as well too. I don't know. Anna always asks me this question: why are you not doing like you can reshare, you can do some stuff. He's on my case sometimes to
I think we had that
reshare
conversation today,
our
as a
stuff
matter of
on
fact.
Anna own businesses as well too, right? And
but
yeah,
as an agent, you can set up your own page to say you're a Remax agent.
actually,
That's
Wazim
what
and
I
I
was
was
getting
having this
to.
conversation
Yeah.
earlier to have a business page for
Right.
Rishi
anything.
Singh.
It could be whatever it is,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? So I'm working on getting that as well too. I think I'm dragging my feet a little bit. I'm
I think
procrastinating
so.
a little
You
bit for
think?
quite a
You
bit
think?
Good,
sometimes.
I
good. I
think
was
you need
gonna
to get a page up.
say. I'm only having
I
this.
think
I'm only
so.
I
having this
I
conversation
think
with
I
him
like
like
this
4 years
format
now.
better where we can have a conversation versus you know talking one on one. I feel a little intimidating that way.
Yeah. You don't like talk to yourself.
No,
Uh,
You're
no,
frightened.
no.
You're
One
frightened
on
you start
one
answer back.
with a camera. But I guess I'm a little more comfortable now that than the first time I came on the show, right? Like,
Right.
it was my first step in this digital direction, which I'm lagging significantly. And
But what I would advise you
Yeah,
for social media,
yeah.
um, you can start your own page. That is a business page, of course. Rishi Singh Realtor, or whatever you decide what your name want to be. But while you get up your camera face and your courage to face the camera, you could use the page and share things from your main office. You can put up, like I have a question. I would like to know as a Guyanese if there's a possibility for me buy a house in Canada. You know, these questions people might want to know. What?
No, definitely. Currently, there's a hold on that because prior
Yeah.
to 2020, there was a lot of foreign investors because the market was hot and a lot of investors came in the country and buying up our properties. And then the
Right.
government put a hold on that and they implement, not necessarily a hold, they put a tax on that. There was a 15% tax on
Mhm.
any property you buy in a golden horseshoe, which is like a geographic location in the GTA, right?
Uh,
Then they stopped that. Now it's 100% banned. But there are some properties that you can still buy. There is some commercial that ties to residential. There is some other ways that you still can get into the market. But as the housing market, there is a restriction on that right now as a foreign investor.
okay. Right. So you see, that's useful information. And while you
Yeah.
might not be able to say it in a video, you
Yeah,
can do a little flyer or post or whatever you want
absolutely.
to
Yeah,
call it.
yeah,
Yeah, and you put on your page and get start getting traction, because the truth of the matter is with social media, and that's one of the things that we do here at Genie, social media marketing. What if you're starting a page, it takes time to
to create
build
some
up.
traction.
Yes, so you need to start somewhere and start posting and start getting one like two like,
Yeah.
and grow your base.
I
And
was,
I gotta say this. If you reach Rishi in person,
uh-huh,
fantastic conversation. And that's what
uh-huh.
I'm saying. He's got the personality to put himself out there.
But
yeah,
thing that
And I no, but I don't understand what's the fear. Like up to today, we were having this conversation, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you what time it was. 11 o'clock this morning. We're having this conversation because
yeah.
I always like I know he's got the personality to do it. And when he says he's camera shy, I said, yeah, I don't think so. I think it's just maybe it's just the initial fear. Like he's saying now, with a conversation initially with Wazim, he had a fear of doing it, but now he
right.
feel like a discussion.
I,
And that's why I said let's treat this as a discussion every
Yeah.
time, and then you
yeah,
take
no,
that out that
absolutely.
mindset,
I
of
mean, this
I
is
treating
agree.
it so.
exactly what this program is designed for, right? And especially this
And
segment, this forum that
no,
we have
definitely.
tonight is to bounce ideas off of each other, see what you've done, Wasim, see what you've done,
Yeah,
Anil, Rishi, and we all learn from
Yeah.
each other, right? And business owners like Mr. Danraj from JDR Import Export out in Edmonton, Mr. Keel is on the check-in right now watching in, and a few other business owners and professionals. We all can learn from each other.
Of
And
course,
that's what our
100%.
community is kind of lacking. I'm not saying it's completely lacking, but we
no, no.
need a forum to go
We
to, a
need more
place
of
that
that
we
in
go
that
to.
direction, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Rishi
Mrs.
I
probably
Cecile, good
feel
night.
I
he got
appreciate
the
it,
face.
the encouragement, WK. And like, I
Yeah.
got the same question from a young agent in my office. I was in there last week, and
Right.
we had an interest rate report recently where nothing happened. Like there was no movement on interest rate. There was a lot of speculation that it was going to drop, and we
Mhm.
were having this conversation of why it didn't drop. So there's a combination of stuff, and two significant reasons are the tariffs, and we have an election on the 28th of this month. So
Mhm.
although the workforce has been seeing a decline, and we had 7 interest rate cut in a row, the Bank of Canada wanted to put a hold on it because nobody knows where the housing market is going to go, if it's going to be affected completely by the tariff, and it depends on which government wins election here, right? So
Mhm.
that's one of the reasons why they didn't put they didn't drop another 1/4% that most people are speculating. So I explained this to the young agent, and he is very prominent on social media. He goes like, dude, why are you not doing this? Because I'm gonna
There you
actually
go.
make
Exactly.
a video of what you just told me.
See?
Yeah. Rishi probably feel he got the face for radio.
Yeah, I
No
feel like
comments.
I need
No
to be
comments.
maybe nighttime radio.
No comments.
Yeah.
No, man, I think we do need the presence. That's why my first thing was social media. And as Wasim said, is because of COVID, we all realized that we can do a lot more
Of course,
Yeah.
man.
with this tool that we have, which is great. As I said, I always keep saying people use it for the wrong reasons at times, but we are here to
Yeah.
use it for, we think it's the right reason, right? To promote each other, promote our community, highlight businesses, professionals, and do all that. But great insights from everyone on that. And customer feedback. I know everyone reaches out to social media these days, right? The first thing I know with flights, I see it all the time. Someone get delayed, they go to social media right away.
It's a
Have
horrible
you
thing.
guys yeah, have you guys seen that in your business, different businesses? Does anyone want to start off with that?
Yeah, for me, actually, what happens quite a bit is Google reviews.
Hmm.
So I have a listing right now in Brantford, and I need a photographer. So I can't take my guy out there; it's too far. So I Google and see who was had the best review. I call that guy, and his review was accurate. It's not just there's a lot of paid review out here, right? But
Hmm.
the review that this guy got and the service that I received, it was pretty accurate. So I'm in a process of giving doing a review for him too because it was like was mentioned on Google. So that's a thing that I look forward to. Like if I'm going far out, and I'm sure people in certain areas they want to work with a realtor in that area, or for any businesses. I don't know how it is in Guyana, Wazim, but for
Uh-huh.
most businesses in certain area, majority of the people look for a Google review, and Anil can attest to that. Google review goes a far way because a lot of people want to see what other people had experience over there.
So just to let you guys know on that topic, so I got this idea whereby I find the convenience of it um, was more lacking for the customer. So they would come in and they, yeah, can review our service, whatever, and they will like, oh yeah, no problems. When I go home, I'll get it done. So what I went and did, I did an extra step. So we printed business cards. So instead of having your name on the business card, we had a QR code on it. So in the last 2 weeks, I'm telling you, I got anything about 50 reviews. You can go on
Really?
my it, I swear, man, this thing just took off. So I said, all people, and sometimes people drive in their car, and all we did is give them the car and say, you like the service today? And the man's like, absolutely. I that's why I come here all the time. I say, here's a card, here's a QR code, very simple. Just scan the QR code and takes you directly to our review page. And you just,
Awesome.
if you go to my page, you will see in the last maybe I've been doing this for 2 months and I have maybe about 100 plus reviews in the last 2 months.
Oh well.
Yeah, so
One,
it actually the convenience of it is something that people use as well very
so
well.
one of the thing that I use as well too, if you go on WhatsApp, there's a QR code there with your information in it.
Yes.
So you can have people scan that there. They'll get your information and put it straight up on Google as well too.
You see,
That's yeah.
a lot of little techie things as well for the social media.
Oh
Yet
yeah,
you want
Wazim
to
actually calls me
you see me playing around by it.
I'm
Wasn't
that guy
making
that plays on your
making a
social
full
media
life.
account, man.
You're there
It,
playing
it,
around.
it, it gets back
Yeah, he does. He
to the
does
face for
procrastinate.
radio, right? It gets back to the face for radio. That's all I could come up with. But no, this is great. And for other business owners and professionals that will be watching this, that's a great idea, Anil, for feedback and for
Yeah.
reviews. Wasim,
Yeah.
what do you find out in Guyana?
We
What's
well, home here it's a bit different. People do leave review if it, but a lot of times what has happened is that people do not come out to say when it's good, when something hits, you know, is not
that's that's
pleasing
the
or
issue.
whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah, then they voice their
Displeasure.
distaste in whatever has happened, and so a lot of pages you find have not opened that path for review.
Hmm.
Um, we at Naked Islands we have been using Google Review, but it's still very few, and I think some of it is somewhat time consuming for people to go and sit down and think about what to write and whatever. Because I think some people are of the opinion you're putting this thing out here and people gonna judge it, so they gotta make sure the grammar right and the spelling right. Because somebody's gonna come and meet and pick the up like it is the grammar police, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's something that has been happening. But I think what happens here most well for now, the culture is changing. You know, a lot of the things that you experience in the North, U.S., Canada, England, and so on, it's starting to infiltrate our system here because of the people that are here, the quantity of people that are traveling and coming to Guyana, the people that are setting up business in Guyana. So you're forced to now go down a certain road. And right now, I think what happens more is referrals. So
Hmm.
yeah. And so people network through referrals through the chamber, for instance, the GCCI, or in the private sector commission, or like if you're in tourism, you're in TAG. So these different groups and these different organizations, and people rely on these people now to point you in the right direction. And I think that is where we are right now. But in terms of reviews, like for me, for instance, if I'm booking a flight for myself and I'm using Expedia, especially for hotels, I read in the reviews because I want to hear what
Of
people,
course.
when, if it's convenient, if it's central, if it's clean, if it's noisy, and these are the stuff you get that from there, right?
Okay.
But I don't know, to be honest, I cannot speak to say how many people actually go here hunting down reviews in order to make a decision as to what
Yeah.
happens next.
So that's a good point there. Like in Guyana, people are not gonna go look at your reviews to come shop by you, right?
Yeah.
But to your to your point where you said like people have to go and type in their experience at your location, right?
Yeah.
And Anil can help with this here. When people do your Google review or the platform that you have that takes people to Google review, does it have like a section where it says satisfied, not satisfied, and just like a click? So this way they don't actually have to type anything. They can just say how was their service. If it was good, not good, if it could be better, if it needs improvement, that sort of thing.
Well,
But
Google
it's more
does
of a survey.
survey. Yeah, Google would
Yeah.
not provide a survey. A review is different from a survey, as
Right.
Wazim is saying, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you're gonna do a survey, that's when you're gonna get a chance to click dislike,
Okay.
strong, weak,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
service it is. But definitely, yeah, Google is the kind of service that you click, you put a review. You can just click 5 star or 4 star or 3 star, and that's a
Mm.
review in itself, right? It's a rating. So I mean, and I'm telling you, Google is a big thing in Canada for us because it
Yeah.
makes you go on the page. It dictates how high or your service. Like we have like a word like all change, for example. If it's
Mm.
used, if someone Google all change and my reviews are great, then I go all the way to the top. When someone automatically type in search word all change,
Right.
so it's so imperative that your reviews are up to par, making sure that even if
It
you
will
get a
push it.
negative review, you're able to respond in a professional manner, to make sure that the people know that you're reaching out back to the customers to at least deal with the issue, whatever it is.
Your name will go all the way to the top, just under the one that paid for to be at the top, huh?
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
No,
That's how it is.
but we also have like my company has pay sorts as well.
uh,
But it
Oh, okay.
depends on how it depends on your placement. Like our marketing team,
right.
we're competing. You're competing for position, but it doesn't mean you also can. The more activity you have on a Google page, even though there's someone paying for your Google, you
Hmm.
can bump yourself past the person that's paying.
Okay.
So little thing as posting a picture on your Google page and you have traction on it, it helps you to place yourself among the top runners.
Hmm.
So it's imperative that you use your page wisely. Like for me, I will even the stuff that I get from social media, we have little clips that our marketing team will do, and I will post it on social media from time on Google from time to time, just to make
Hmm.
sure that there's some kind of traction. Somebody comes in a nice car, a nice classic car, I will say, it's okay for me to post your car up on Google, and I'll have my staff take pictures of it. And I've gotten them into the habit of doing the same thing as well. You see a nice car that you guys like, you post it on the thing. You blank the license plate out and you post it up, and
Yeah.
it's a summer ride
It's
or
just
whatever
to
it is.
keep the
Keep
traction
the
going.
traction going. Yeah,
Yeah. Like
exactly.
on Rishi personal agent page, he's gonna post pictures of historic buildings and these sort of
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
Keep
100%.
people.
No, we don't
Yeah,
want to
right.
deal with too much historic building. You can't really do anything if it's at
No,
100
but you're
years
not
or
doing
older.
anything with it. But that's what I'm saying. It
I'm
it
just saying,
Just create.
I don't.
yeah, it pulls people to your page.
No,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's an algorithm, right? Like more stuff that you feed, like
Right.
whatever you
Right.
post, you're gonna get similar stuff,
Like the
right?
articles, Rishi, like the articles you mentioned about the interest rate and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
People might
Well.
find it interesting and hit a like or a share. Someone else will read it. They might share it to a group. And that way now,
Right.
it's not just the article, it's the person that published that, right? is getting that
Right.
exposure and getting more
Absolutely.
visits. As we're on the reviews topic, I've been begging people here on Facebook for the
Yes,
Guyanese
yes.
owned businesses. This page that you're currently watching the live on, can you kindly please go drop a review? Just our page is not rated yet, as Wasim just mentioned. It's based, or someone just mentioned that the more reviews you get, your page is going to be rated, or your business. In my
Yep.
case, the Guyanese own page, the forum that we have to promote and highlight, spotlight Guyanese businesses. I need more reviews. I only have like 4 or 5 reviews, I think, or 3 or 4. So folks that are watching now and that will be watching later, if you're on YouTube watching this after when I upload the video onto YouTube, please come to Facebook, search for the page, the same page that the live is right now, and drop a review. If you have some comments on there, how to improve it and what we're doing, would you like anything? And I always say there's no review that's a bad review. We can look at it. It can be some constructive criticism. I can learn from it. The team can learn from it. We can know how to go about this and continue doing what we're doing. In saying that, I got to welcome everyone else. Miss Akila is on the check-in from Travel Point, travel agent with over 40 plus years of travel experience. So if you're looking for someone to get in touch with, for that special family trip for cricket, going back to Guyana for the CPL, or going anywhere, going on a cruise, get in touch with Miss Akila Hussein. And yeah, I did talk to Akila. I didn't really talk to anyone else about it. We're planning in Toronto, Wasim, since we're in this area, a meetup, a face-to-face with a bunch of businesses, maybe at a
Oh,
restaurant one day for lunch, and everyone can come out with some brochures and stuff, and we have tables that you get to advertise your service and products to the community. And we mentioned earlier that everything takes a while to build up and to start. It's a slow process. Same thing with our page, right? We started way back, but only this year, 2025, we started going live and promoting different businesses, giving the owners and professionals like yourselves a chance to speak now to the community, and they learn more instead of just posting pictures and stuff. Now we can have a discussion, answer questions. So folks in the chat, feel free to drop any questions you like for the guys here tonight. We have Wasim all the way out in Guyana, out in Charleston, Guyana, owner
right. So,
along with his wife. Yeah, Miss Cindy, owner of Ginny Solutions and Naked Hangers. Anil Sarwan from in the Toronto area in Scarborough on Kennedy Road, the Great Canadian Oil Change, and Rishi Singh, a real estate agent with Remax Community, serving the Greater Toronto area as well. And it's just a panel here. We're bouncing ideas off, trying to help each other out and how to do business for the folks out there. Hopefully, you can pick up like that. That's a great idea of the night so far. The QR code. I like that, Anil, and hopefully some folks out there can implement that in their business and see where that goes.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I mean, I would like to pick these guys' brains as well. Definitely want
Okay,
to get
guys.
your.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you. I gotta
Yes,
drive. I'll be on the call, but I'll take my camera off. Is that okay?
that's fine.
that's
Okay,
fine.
but all
Now
right,
the man have
thanks.
a face for radio for real.
Nighttime radio, man.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
yeah, Rishi's going to an appointment. So real estate world, right? Real estate life.
Yeah.
Right. But Wazim, one of the things to for you for this particular thing you're doing here, the discussion, let's chat. Maybe you can take from Anil's QR code
Hmm.
and create a QR code that links to the page, and maybe the businesses that you have here for discussion. Our payback could be that we put the QR code in the business's plate, so customers could scan and become followers of the page.
Of course, sir.
Because yeah, I
Yes.
think it needs to be expanded,
Yep.
and I mean it's a free service you're offering, and so the most we can do is try to broaden and the audience. It will
Yeah.
serve all of us in the long run. So
Excellent suggestion. Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely.
so if
Rishi,
yeah,
sorry, Rishi, you're on mute. I think I just muted you because you're driving. When you're ready to speak, just unmute yourself. Thanks. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I'm hearing
I'm at the
some
lights. Yeah,
noise with
I'm listening to you,
the
boys.
driving. That's why I just put it on mute for a sec there. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
go
no, I'm
ahead,
listening to
Wasim.
you, boys. If I'll contribute, I'll just unmute myself.
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Wasim. So yeah, I think we can you can do that. I don't know. I'm thinking like a little plate or something that you design and QR code, link it to your page, and
Hmm.
have it distributed. Bring mine when you're coming to Guyana.
Yeah.
and yeah,
You know what?
and
I
we'll
did
put it up
fridge magnets. When I was on the radio station years ago, I did fridge magnets every
right.
year, and I
Yeah,
had links and all that stuff on the magnet. So that's a great idea. The QR
yeah,
code on a magnet and just distribute. And I'll bring yours in Guyana in July. I'm going to be there
yes,
for a
yes.
while, so I'll
That's
drop it
some
off.
that's some that's some
Just say
empty promises there, WK. That's some empty promise.
you just
I'm right there. You can't get any goodies, man. Don't
join Let's Chat, right? Yeah, I
No,
Join
but
Let's
guys,
Chat.
WK, I have a question for you. How was the tariff affected your business in Guyana?
well, as you know, for instance, with Naked Hangers, we do a lot of shopping online, and we do buy things from Sheen
Mm-hmm.
or Shine, which however you pronounce it,
Sheen.
and it travels down this way, and from the best of my knowledge, it passes through the U.S.,
Mm-hmm.
which means that it will be affected by the tariff if so be the case. But it's not kicked in. That has not kicked in as yet. But I think a lot of people are watching to see what happens, and people are looking at alternatives,
Mm-hmm.
different places to buy from that you can avoid passing it through that that trade area because I mean we know here in Guyana a lot of people in terms of their earnings and so on you can afford to pay if this tariff goes into play, it will put a lot of people at the downside in terms of
Mm-hmm.
what they can afford to buy, right? So businesses here would now have to find a way to keep the prices affordable because they're already cries about the cost of living and so on. So my guy, for instance, that does shipping, he's looking at different avenues uh, in the event this actually do come to pass. Right now, however, we're still okay, but I don't know. I can't say for how long,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Of course, there's a increase in tariff for exports to the U.S. from
Mm-hmm.
Guyana, and well, I don't know how that's working at that end, but that's where we are with that.
Yeah.
I I know Canada, y'all have a lot going on for you, yeah, but
Does it affect you, Anil? Does it
Uh,
affect
well,
your?
I have to tell you, so when that was announced, we were extremely slow for a couple of weeks. But I've noticed, I mean, like everything else in life, you have to kind of adjust
adapt.
and adapt to what it is. And yeah, the last 2 weeks have been fantastic for us. I mean, people
Okay.
coming to realization. I mean, a lot of people don't even know what tariff is to begin with.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Um, and but they hear the word tariff, they hear it's Trump, they hear what it is, and not to get into politics, but definitely, one of those things that scare people and they get cautious and they try to pull themselves back a little bit. And like I said, the last 2 weeks has been fantastic for us. And people are starting to come back, and that's good signs. That's showing that people, no matter how it happens. I mean, Wazim, you went through a couple of recessions in this country, like
Mhm.
myself.
yep, yep.
And you know what? You learn to adapt and you learn to live your life. You have to get your stuff done. In my business, I always say we are recession proof because then you have your car. You can't go and buy a new car. You have to take care of your vehicle. So in a sense, it kind of benefits
Yeah.
us, right?
Right.
So I mean, definitely one of those things that.
No, and
That
then
was,
how the tariff has affected your prices for your service that you provide?
we haven't had any increases as of now.
Mm.
Fingers crossed, because like I said, it hasn't been implemented fully. So
Right.
we haven't feel the effects of it, and it's unfair for us to pass that on. I mean,
Yeah.
businesses are very sly with the way they do things, and it's unfair for in this time to pressure people into doing something that you haven't to give them that
Ex-
burden. So it's very
Exactly.
unfair in business.
Exactly.
I find
Yeah.
ethically it's unfair for someone to come to your business
It's
and you
unscrupulous.
use the word tariff to increase your prices. It's
Yeah.
not fair to people to bear that burden.
But what you figure was the reason for the slowdown for the couple of weeks?
I would
Just the hesitation as to
The
what's going to
hesitation, yeah,
happen.
definitely a hesitation of people
Okay.
being cautious. People wanted to see what it is going on out there,
People didn't
Right.
understand exactly what was
exactly
happening,
what was
right?
happening. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You see, we
And
have
like I said,
in Guyana we have like for instance, I could speak for where we're working in terms of like naked hangers with the clothing. There are other alternatives. Of course, we buy from the US as well, right? So which is a good thing. We support US businesses, and of course, if you want other stuff, there's Panama, which is right up our alley here.
Hmm.
But you see the convenience again and the online because, for instance, if you want to shop at Shein or Fashion Nova or one of these other companies, you hop on the phone, you hop on the PC, and you fold the basket. I don't know because I'm sure there is, which we're exploring at this time,
Hmm.
as to in Panama, for instance, if there is things set up there like that you could actually buy online and have it shipped down to Guyana, right? As easy as you could have it shipped all the way from China. So I'm hoping that there is uh, things set up, and I know it's not only Guyana, it's going to be the Caribbean and South America at large are going to be looking at different avenues if this comes to pass. Because at the end of the day, it's about uh, having your people, your nation, be able to use their money to buy stuff that they're satisfied with,
Excellent. Yeah.
and enough that and the cost will be enough that they can their money can reach. They can stretch it across the board. They can eat. They can walk. They can save. They can clothe themselves. Right.
Mhm.
You can't be
Absolutely.
overpriced. Where the only thing you could probably do is walk and dress
Yeah.
because you kind of nothing else.
No, no,
Right.
100%, 100%, bro.
Yeah,
I
so I
agree with
think I
you.
think and that's what it comes down to is to making things affordable so that everybody can have something.
Yeah.
We are located here in Charleston, and I mean our store it's a nice little place, but we're the force to bring clothing in this neck of the woods and a store like this. And there are a few more now. And what I want to say is that they brought quality uh, shopping experience in an area where it was not known for that. People don't come to Charleston to shop clothing really,
Hmm.
right? Hardware, yes, cement, steel, Tulsi Prasad, Annual Investment,
Yeah.
Darfurs and stuff, right? So this is changing the makeup now of the community, and I'm very happy that they came and by myself and whoever is here now, they have set up businesses that what should I say, shows respect for the community. They come and set up no slapdash, nothing, no
Nice.
hook up,
Hmm.
nothing. You understand? They,
Hmm.
they show they show sort of respect to the community, and so I'm happy about that. And
That's good.
so I think anyone that's operating in these areas and so will look in terms of costing and how was it best avenue to get things here for our people at an affordable rate. So I'm
Yes.
hoping that good sense prevail and I mean the US is looking out for themselves as well, and they get what they're bargaining for, that they can meet a mutual win-win for both sides or whoever their tariffs are affecting, and things can work out. But in the meantime, we can't wait, let the grass grow and the hair start, right?
No,
So
Yep. Yep. Yep.
100%,
We got to
100%.
be proactive. And
exactly.
yeah, I know Rishi is driving, guys. So thank you for everyone that's watching the live, and I will be watching. It's Let's Chat. It's Guyanese Own Businesses every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Doesn't matter where I'm at working, we'll be live. We've been doing so since the first Tuesday of the year, and we'll continue by God's grace to continue to do this. Promote fellow Guyanese businesses in the community, like Wasim is out in Guyana. Anil businesses based in Toronto. Rishi serves the Greater Toronto area. Mississauga, Brampton, Oakville, as he mentioned earlier, Brantford. He goes up all the way to Niagara Falls, east of Toronto, west of Toronto, north. So we have a lot of other business owners and professionals that we spoke to on previous conversations and calls are on the live. So I got to welcome you folks on. Mr. Chris Braham. He's got a
Yeah.
Canadian oil change
Great
out in Brampton
announcement.
as
Yeah.
well. Good night to you, Chris, and the family. Thank you as always for supporting this. Mr. Cecil Harry Charan is on the live. Miss Pav is all the way out in Windsor, Ontario, real estate agent. I reached out to Pav. She'll make some time. She's pretty busy, so maybe in a couple of months' time, we'll speak to Pav all the way out in Windsor, Ontario, where Savor Guyana is. The pepper sauce man, Mr. Anthony Mansung Hing. He's located also right across the border, Detroit. and we'll talk to you folks. So we're speaking to a few different business owners and professionals here tonight and bouncing ideas off and listening to some of the stories and so on. So one thing I'd always like to pick everyone's brain when I talk to them. What would you, Wasim, quickly, what would you advise someone trying to start out, not necessarily a business like yours, but in Guyana at this point in time? Someone young watching the show and be like, hey man, I want to be a business owner too, right? What's your
Yeah.
advice to them?
But before I say that, what I like, one of the things that the government is working towards is to make all these like your paperwork. So you have to get your registration, you gotta get your NIS number, you gotta get your TIN,
Yeah.
under one umbrella. So you can actually go into a building and get your complete set of documents uh, streamlined and collected in one sitting, right? So that's the first thing I would say to the person is to decide on what your nature of your business is, register your business name, and
Hmm.
get your required documents. If you're gonna be working, if you don't have an NIS number, you have to get yourself, your staff registered. If it's you start up, you might already have your NIS, you have your TIN number, and you start going there. But as I say to many people, yourself included, was consistency is key, right?
Hmm.
So and being self-employed and being an entrepreneur, it's not easy. It's what you put in is what you'll get out, right?
A
So
hundred
if you
percent.
if you decide today rain fell and you unable to get up and you will sleep till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, therefore you last till 1 o'clock in the afternoon in terms of what you're doing. You can't do it, whether it's sales, reservations, bookings, whatever the story is. It's time lost, especially if you, not especially if you are working alone. If you have a staff, then maybe you have some amount of flexibility, but of course you cannot leave your business without policing, making sure that everything is going
Need that
according to how.
oversight, right? You do need that
Correct. You
oversight.
must you must understand your role in your business, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so I would say consistency. If for instance the store we open at 9:30, we close at 5:30. We open Monday to Saturdays, 9:30 to 5:30. People come down for work at 5 to sometimes hustle and come because they know that they could once they get here for 5:30, they're in, right? And
Yeah.
people rely on that. And you build that. And if it's holiday, like we open Easter Sunday, we put out a notice. We use social media, get the word out that you're opening an extra hour or two or whatever for this special day. So I think one the main thing is well, two main things is get your documents in order and to decide what you're doing and be consistent about it.
And one of the
Question
things,
to
before Anil, just quickly, one
yeah.
of the things I heard what you were saying there, you got to be prepared to dedicate a lot of time
Oh
to
yes,
this, right?
it's
It's
not
not easy. It's not
it's
easy.
not it's not for the faint of heart.
Yes.
Um, people would say, "Oh, I pass man, I work with myself. I could do,
Yes.
whatever." Yes, it is. It does come with a lot of freedom, and it does come with a lot of good stuff. And I would say to anyone, you know, um, finance is like a table. So if you have a table, you have four legs, right? If you pull out a leg from that table, it will wobbly, but it'll still stand. You pull out two legs, depends on how it is. You might brace it up, it might still stand. But if you have a table with one leg and you pull that leg out, then what happens? It actually it falls. It goes flat. And likewise for people, especially young people, that is finance. If you are dependent on one stream of income, just know, like for instance, when COVID came, when a lot of people got laid off from their job and said there was nothing they can do, that is what happens. You have to now rely on what you've saved, if you've saved anything, and you have to
Hmm.
hope for what happens down the line. But start, you must have some passion, a talent for something. If you're chasing after one thing, you could have multiple sources of income, multiple streams of income, set up small businesses and what have you. But if you want to dedicate yourself, and when we were young and think you can be an astronaut, you can be a doctor, whatever the case is, you can be a singer, you can be a dancer, but then you hit 18 or 21, and then somebody say, you know, they're not going to pay the bill, or you know, you're not going to make this. So you put that to the back burner and you start focusing on, no, I'm going to do this accounts work or whatever the case is, right? So that's it. That's the thing. Sometimes we sell our dreams so for convenience. We sell our dreams so that we can, you know, have something that is constant, and it doesn't always work out. So if you're passionate about something, if you know you want to do something, and and if it keeps you up at night thinking about it, that you really want to do it, then go ahead, make the way and start making a move, and the tides will part, right? As much as you're seeing obstacles, how I can get it, how I can get it, if you start the fort the most difficult thing of any journey is the first step, right?
Hmm.
God helps those who help themselves, right? Keep God with you and start your thing, and it will get there. But focus on what you want to do. If you think you want to do something for yourself personally, you want to be an entrepreneur, then go for it. If you think it's not enough to get you going or to pay where you have to go, then get a job, get that on the side, get something going. Eventually, maybe that takes off. You can always switch over, but you have to be clear about what is it exactly you want. And if you're young and you're still not clear, that's okay. Some of you there in the 40s, some of you there in the 50s, life almost done. You still don't know where the hell you want to do yourself, right? But the truth of the matter is, keep moving. You will
Yeah.
eventually find where you want to be. Keep moving and be honest with you. Because you could pretend to us that you're good and everything all right, but you of yourself, as my grandmother said, only a man know we roughly can. You know what is it you want out of this. So
Hmm.
keep at
Great
that.
advice.
Right?
Great
Yeah.
advice. Anil, go ahead. Sorry, Anil. Go ahead.
No, no, it's that's an excellent way to put it over. WK. The one thing I will tell you, man, perseverance as a young person, you
Mhm.
have to persevere. And you know what? Don't worry about the flip flop thing. I've learned a lot of people wanting to do business, and they come into business thinking that they can chase. They see someone doing something and they think they can be as successful
I
as
can
that
do it.
person doing. All right. Don't ever chase money. Always chase the opportunities in life. I've always said to people, I said,
Yep.
listen, the opportunities are gonna come and the money will eventually follow. Always remember to establish yourself in a way that consistency has to be there. You know, perseverance is the biggest thing in life. And to your point, WK, um, a lot of people see you reaping some of the benefits, and they think like, oh man, this guy's living the life. They don't understand how much night you're up dealing with situation. Some guys may be sleeping,
Hmm.
or an employee
Yeah.
might be sleeping when you're there trying to get on a computer updated, so tomorrow morning you can get your computer going, or your business doesn't lag because something wasn't there, and you have to make sure you make those connections. They don't
Yep.
see a lot of people
The
don't see the back end.
sacrifices. The
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
sacrifices you got to go through. Yeah.
There's a lot of back end things that you see. Like guys come to my work, for example, and they see you sitting in the office. Oh, you're on your butt again.
Yeah.
Like they don't understand that you have to do
Yeah.
inventory, payroll, you have to do all these things, and they don't understand that there's so much back end work to do.
Yes.
That
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would love to just work on cars all day, but it doesn't provide me the
You got a
the
business to run,
luxury.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
So a lot of people see it and then they're like, yeah, man, this guy is living a life. He's traveling, going this place. But yeah, no, it comes with a lot of sacrifice. Definitely
Hmm.
does
Of
come with
course.
lot of sacrifices.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it's you put in the time, and you know what? I've been working since I was 17.
Mhm.
I started. Um, I worked at Lands and Survey. That was my first job, and that's where I met my wife. That was under Ministry of Agriculture at the time. Now it's a commissioner. And then we went to PGS, and then I worked a year at Sheriff. And last year, I came off of work entirely, and this is the first time I'm actually on my own. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, and it's a good feeling.
Mhm.
Um, and as I said, you see the work that comes behind the whole facade of this is a business and this is that. There's lots and lots that happens behind
Behind
here,
the no,
all right,
100%.
behind the picture that nobody sees,
Mhm.
right? but yet people are, oh, I can do it better, or I could do this too, and whatever cases. But that's fine if you feel you can. Then
Yeah.
the world
We
big
we
for how
could
it
we
is.
could never stop that, right? That will always
Exactly.
happen,
Do
right? You
what you
cannot
have to
prevent.
do,
Yeah.
but do not underestimate what someone is doing to make their daily bread, or
Spot on.
to,
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
people are making sacrifices. People have family, and these are the stuff that suddenly the family don't see them. My dad worked
Hmm.
with himself, and he at one time he was working taxi, and he was working Barbie strips and these are the stuff. And sometimes for days you don't see him. He comes home 1 o'clock in the night
Yeah.
and
You're
leaves
sleeping.
early in the morning,
Yeah.
because then you have to go and line up at 4 in the morning to get gas, because it was something that was short here. So
Hmm.
you either get a gas early in the morning, or you don't work for the day because the gas tank empty, right?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
gas station sold out. So but he made his sacrifices as a businessman himself, and he came along the way, and I think he did good for himself. But again, people would not see that. They would say, oh, he had a house, he had cars, he had a taxi service or whatever. But there's a lot that went into that,
Yeah.
from a man that just came from Unity with a shirt and two pants to where
Hmm.
he was when he departed. Peace be with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I as I say, do not, you have to be like a horse. Wear your blinders. Focus on what is it that you want to
Tunnel
do.
vision.
Right?
100% tunnel
Yes.
vision. Yeah.
Stop looking over
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
he doing
Hmm.
or what she
Hmm.
doing. Don't be intimidated by them, and don't be greedy by them.
Don't
No,
Right?
let
no,
don't let
don't,
others'
don't,
No,
especially
movements
stop,
or what they
stop
do affect
chasing.
you. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Stop
Look up
chasing.
Yeah.
now and then and see what the competition doing, because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
need to be aware
yeah. Of
of the
course, 100. You
environment.
have to
But
keep abreast.
yes, keep your focus. Hold
Yeah,
your
Focus. You
no,
focus.
got to be focused.
100%.
Stay on that path. You'll get there,
Correct.
right?
Yeah,
Correct.
no, like our competitor is I mean, a lot of people will tell you in this country is Mr. Lube, and sometimes I
Mhm.
pass and just to observe what's going on in their business. But I mean, that doesn't mean because I see the guy has car and I don't have car at that point, it makes me greedy or whatever. Like I'm happy. The one thing I always say to my wife, whenever we go to a business and I see lineup or there's people inside the business, I'm like, man, this I'm happy for this person. Like I
Yeah.
think
Hmm.
we went last night we went for dinner at it's a mom and pop restaurant. It's a I think it's an Afghani restaurant. And we walked in there and the flow of traffic was amazing. And I'm like, man, I'm so impressed. So I had to tell the server, like, this is amazing service. And that's one
Yeah.
thing I attest to every time I go to some place. I'm always able to see those, especially like a small business, like we're here for the same reasons. You know, thrive on those things, and you feel happy for that person, because you know how much sacrifice going. I know as a business
Correct.
owner how much
Yeah.
sacrifice going to it, and when I see that kind of traffic, I'm amazed and not only amazed, I'm happy for those people, like genuinely happy for those
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
over here, you have a lot of businesses that are budding. A lot of people are trying different things. Prior to Island Gas, it was Dr. Lai working at the bank and them sort of stuff. But
Hmm.
now with what's happening, it has opened up a wide variety, array of things, of opportunities
Opportunities, right?
that you can get involved in. Things that you didn't even know was work before is
Yeah.
now, a way to make a dollar. So there's quite a few things happening. And it's nice to see a lot of young people too getting in, and women. And that's the other thing. I'm glad I meet there. So this program need to have some gender balance. So next time we doing we doing a talk like this, Wazim, you have to get a female online. All right.
I'm happy you
So
mentioned that
You could
because
have your
yeah,
wife beside you as well there,
yeah,
David,
yeah.
to
Well,
check
she
everything.
camera shy like Rishi.
I was gonna say she's
I'm
camera
not
shy
that
like
camera shy,
Rishi.
man.
I was working on getting
Yeah.
her the first interview on, but she's camera shy.
Yeah, so we have a lot of women here who are
Yeah.
in fact the Ghana has a women chamber of commerce, all right,
Hmm.
and that's because of the amount of women in businesses, and they have just last, well, not Easter weekend prior to that, there was We Live, which is a program hosted by the Ministry of Human Services, and they had on display women in business in different sector, all sort of things, from fashion to food making, jewelry, a whole host of stuff. We actually had a group of women that got together and bid and won an Isle block. So they're going
Oh,
to
really?
be going to, yeah, locals, right? So it's really nice to see what's happening here. So long time woman you in Guyana, woman to stay home and man has got to work, and so those days are done. Um,
100%.
yeah, it's
100%.
definitely finished with. They're foot and foot, neck and neck, head and head would be out here, and they're making strides. So yeah,
And if I can make not an argument, but if I can say something about that, I think in terms of making decision, they're less risky than we would ever be. I mean,
yeah.
when we talk about taking risks, I mean, the male gender would jump to any opportunity. But for me, I even with my wife, like most of the time I do something, I would have her assess what we're gonna do with it in order
Hmm.
to get that decision done. So
Yeah,
it's definitely somebody that you need to to be in your ears to tell you, yeah, is it the right thing, is it not the right thing. And most people who are fortunate to have that, like, I am fortunate to have that in my life, so we
yes.
can make those decisions, not just and just jump out there and get it done, to be
Somebody
able
you
to
can
assess what it
honestly
is.
bounce
Correct.
something off and get an honest opinion. My wife is my harshest critic. So once it passed that test, then I know I'm good to go.
You're
Anybody
good to
else
go.
could,
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
yeah, could fall behind, fall behind. Yeah.
Anything you want to add, Rishi?
Yes, to what you were asking, if I would encourage like anybody who wants to get into a
Yeah.
business, right? And
Yes.
just for say for real estate purposes, like if anyone want to get into real estate, it's a great field to be in. It gives you a lot of satisfaction to help people meet their goals, especially attaining a house, right? That's a lifelong dream for a lot of people. So if you can help people to get in that direction, you know, get them the house that they're looking for, I can only say so much about the satisfaction that you get from it. Like it's a real good feeling that you get, and treat people how you want to be treated, and always be transparent. Don't beat around the bush because it's always going to get back to you. If you want to
Mhm.
become a real estate agent, it's not that it's easy, but there are steps to take. Like before when I got my license, we used to go to Aureus, or into Real Estate School of Ontario. Right now, it's at Humber College. Anyways, it they condensed the exam like to like 8 months. You can get your license, but once you get your license, you got to be prepped and ready to go because you're gonna have long hours, late hours, lots of driving, and yeah, Anil can attest to it. I'm there quite often changing my oil because yeah, it get used up
Right.
quite a bit.
You- You're even in your car right now with us, so we
No, yeah,
understand.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, so
But
I came from one location to the other.
but
I'm doing actually a commercial showing tonight, and it's a massive property. I think it's about close to about 45,000 square feet.
wow,
Wow.
And yeah, I'm waiting on my client. This place is too big. Like I would take you guys for a tour, but yeah, maybe another time. Yeah. So yeah,
See,
anyone
now
who wants
that's
to
where
get
your
in.
page will come in handy, Rishi. When you create that page, you can do tours like that
Yeah,
and
I
post
know,
it.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so anyone who wants to become a realtor, it's a great field to be in, and there's a lot of opportunities, and there's a lot of field that you can work in. Because right now I'm in residential mainly, and I'm trying to go over a little bit more to the commercial side because I really like commercial. It's not that it's easier to work with; it's more stable. It's more like a 9 to 5. Today is an exception because my client couldn't make it, so I'd ask. But usually with commercial, it's 9 to 5, and most commercial agent after 5 you don't get them. So I like that it has some stability versus a residential agent. I mean, most people do both, but there's designated people who just do residential and some just commercial. And those guys who do just commercial are grandfathered in. They've been doing it for a long time, and it's uh it's more stable. And I'd like to get there eventually, but for now I am doing both. So and yeah, I have a new listing that's coming on the market, and definitely I'll post it on social media.
Looking
Uh-huh.
forward
So
to
I
that.
actually took pictures on it
Looking for
the
today.
check.
So
the VP
yeah,
was about to say all the passion and you don't have social media.
yeah, I know. Like I get it all the time, man. Like whenever I speak real estate, I really feel passionate about it and helping people getting where they want to go. And it's not always about making a sale. For me, like I've had someone call me and they want to sell their condo, and I had a conversation with the lady, and we kind of go through the numbers, and it's like, you know what? you're not in a position to buy a bigger property. I don't think you're going to get what you're asking for your property, and to go get another property and you're going to be paying a lot more because interest rate is higher because you're locked in at a lower rate. I don't think it's a good time for you to make that decision. So it's not always about making a sale. It's about guiding people and, helping them achieving their goal, but timing is everything, right? So,
And that's how you get a good review.
no, absolutely, right? And
Yeah.
and back to what I said, like, you treat people how you want to be treated. If you're only going to want to make a sale, you're not going to be in this business for a long time, right? Because the word is going to get around. Like, this guy don't care about anything. It's just about a sale. Make some money and that's it.
Yeah,
But
to my point
if
of
you want to have
chasing.
longevity in this business, you need to treat people with respect and honesty, and transparency is key to it.
Yeah. Great.
Agree.
Great.
Yeah,
I know,
so
guys.
I think I
Yeah.
think that's across the board. You
Yeah,
have to treat
agree.
people with honesty and respect, and you have to be transparent in your business dealings, and you have to treat
absolutely,
them
man.
how you want to be treated.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said across the board, any business, doesn't matter what. And in life, in life.
And yes,
You
that's
it
something.
applies to everything. And just checking the
And
time here, just 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. I know we just ran past eight
Oh,
o'clock
yeah, no
already.
way.
Very
Okay.
good conversations though.
any, yeah. So another thing, guys, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm getting a call
Yep,
that's
yep.
coming through.
No,
Can
I
you
can
hear
hear
me
you.
still?
Yeah, you're
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to your point, WK, like sometimes people don't see the efforts that you put in, like to your dad, right? Like he
Hmm.
did all the hard work at night, nobody noticed, right? So I condense that and I said, what you see is a
I think
Okay. What you see,
is
you
what you
cut
don't
after
see.
that.
Oh,
So it's what you see is a result of what you don't see. A lot of people
Oh
didn't see
yeah,
your
yeah.
yeah,
got up at 1 in the morning or whatever, go do what you
right.
need to do. But all
Hmm.
people see is a big house, you got a nice car, those things, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a result of what you don't see.
that's
The hard
true.
work behind the
That's very
scenes,
true.
right?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hard work always pays off.
It's like them houses in the bill in Canada. You pass it today, nothing. You pass it tomorrow, whole house done built.
Oh,
A
you
Because
whole
see it
somebody,
on
community
TV all the time,
sometimes.
Wasim.
somebody, somebody worked very hard over the night building that.
Well, if you want to say actually overnight is the Amazon building because they're popping up and they're going so fast, man.
Actually, I had
Uh,
a conversation when I was in Guyana a couple months. I think it was November, and
mm,
I was at the event and I was talking to one of the ministers. I said, "Can you tell me why you call the place housing scheme?" He's like, "Why?" I said, "Can you not say community?" He's like, "Why?" I said, "If I say housing scheme, I mean I'm squatting." And so he started laughing. He's like,
That's a
"No,
good point.
to your point, it makes a whole difference." I said, "You're building communities. You're not building housing scheme. Housing
yes,
scheme is when people squat." You know what I'm saying? But he took
it
it as a
comes with a
joke. But then
connotation,
yeah,
right?
yeah. But it's something that's been around for years,
Yeah.
and no one
I
caught on
live in
to it.
that scheme. I live
Scheme,
in
yeah.
this scheme.
I
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
a man tell me you live in a scheme, and this man's living in a mansion. I'm like, you're not living in no scheme, man. You live in a gated area, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
And you can also use another interpretation to add to what Anil is saying, a new development.
correct, correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's over here. We're getting that the container houses now.
The
You talk about
I
the
saw
Amazon
that.
house.
the
I
No,
saw
prefab.
the
yeah,
clip.
Yeah,
actually, those things are convenient, and a lot of people
Yeah.
are utilizing that and making it into a profitable business because a lot of people are taking it. What I noticed, I saw something where people are making a prefab home in the interior and
right.
charging people to stay out there, and
Yeah,
it has everything in a little space, right? So it's
yep.
really good for businesses.
It's compact. In
Hmm.
on the highway there too. It's suggested because it's a container, and if you know the highway, you know the wooden, so they ain't easy. If you lie down too still, they pick you up and carry away, right? So with
Uh,
these container homes,
it,
it's
it,
wooden
it's,
proof.
it sounds like them by a thief with drag line now, right?
Yeah.
Before we go, I think Sonal, now, Cecil did raise a point here. If you want to address it about the steel, I don't want him to not
Oh
address
yeah.
it. But
Oh, Cecil said, yeah, the tariffs is definitely affecting a lot of Canadian businesses, especially the steel, auto, and manufacturing industries that export to the US, and Canada exports more to the US than we import. Yeah, that's right. I forgot the percentage, but Canada do export a lot more steel to the US than we import. So we're the number one for the US, they import more steels from Canada than anywhere else in the world. And that's
Okay.
affecting a lot of industry, people that are in that business. I'm not sure which industry Cecil is from,
I
but
think he is in that
in that field.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, yeah, it does play a big part. And for me, for my where I work for, and we do a lot of work at the airports and stuff, and we manufacture over here, so it's affecting our prices now. So I
Do
just
you
had a
guys have
call today.
elections coming up sometime? Is
The
Yes,
this
28th.
6 days,
28,
in
yeah.
6 days,
okay?
yeah.
So is
Okay.
it this negotiation in terms of where the tariff goes or how it's negotiated? Is it being done now, or they're going to wait until the change of government
Change of
or
government.
after elections rather before they're
Well,
negotiating?
well, what happened was our current government, they actually changed our prime minister. So
Right, I know that.
basically,
He stepped down.
it's a new leader, but it
Uh-huh.
could be changed as a new leader of party in 6 days, right?
Okay, okay,
So
yeah.
yeah, so we still have to wait and see. So there's a lot of
We gotta wait. We gotta wait on that.
Uncertainty
uncertainty.
in the
That's
country
the key word
itself.
here.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, I gotta run.
All
Wazim,
right.
thanks again for putting this panel together.
No
You
worries,
guys have
Rishi.
a
Thank
blessed
you.
It
evening.
was
I'll
fun.
talk to you guys later.
Good
Yeah.
luck with the show in
Have a good
there.
night and good luck, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
See you on social media. Bye.
Yeah, see you.
Yeah, we gotta thank Rishi for joining us. He's busy real estate life, as he mentioned. He drove from one part of the city from west to east just now while we were on the call. We started about an hour, 10 minutes ago. So
Yeah.
thank Rishi. And guys, I know I've taken you guys. You all had a long day. Wasim is with a lot of rain in Guyana. He
Yeah, yeah,
just got
yeah.
home. Anil just got home before the call. So before we go, quickly, we'll just spend another few minutes. Where do you see in the next maybe 3 years from now? All things going as planned. Wasim, where do you see your businesses? Genie Solutions and Naked Hangers. Is there any plans for expansion, growth? What do you have planned for the
Well,
future?
living in Guyana, it's hard to uh, be establishing a business or doing business and not thinking about growth because things are moving at tremendous
Oh,
pace here.
yeah.
A lot is happening, and you have to keep up, and you have to keep. Depends on what you're doing. You have to keep yourself fresh, keep your business approach new, and keep it engaging. For Genie Solutions, we're in another 3 years. I would like to see all facets of Genie Solution come on stream because we have the OTC, we want to do the travel aspect of things where we're able to book family vacation cruises and so plan the entire trip for you and take you out and in because a lot of people here want to travel but they're not sure as to what is required, where you need to go, especially if you're going to a country that is not English speaking. In Guyana here, we're only English speaking in South America. So you want to go to Argentina, right? We're thinking, how do I do that?
How you
How do I
communicate?
Uh-huh.
negotiate that? So we want to take that stress away. We have procurement that we want to be. We do some amount of procurement, but we'd like to see that larger in terms of bringing in stuff for as a support to other businesses and hopefully
Mhm.
on a larger market in terms of the procurement might be able to get us into what the oil and gas industry requires, right along that line. So, and even with naked hangars, there are aspects that we want to do in terms of procurement that would actually feed into oil and gas. You might think of it, uh, there is FPSOs at sea and it's basically living quarters, right? So if people are living out there for months on end, uh, and they need stuff just like you who would need stuff in your home. Simple thing as curtains, pillowcase, sheets, and these sort of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking at how things are going and the the paths it's taken, and we're hoping to get onto that eventually. And we're doing the work now. We put in the work now to get there eventually, right? And as I said,
Okay.
already if
Good luck.
people, yeah, thanks. And we
Good
want
luck.
to get registered like with the Center for Local Business Development so that you can get the opportunities when bids and this sort of stuff comes out, so you can get into the fray of things.
You got to
Yeah.
keep up with it, right? You got to always stay
Oh
on
yeah.
top of that.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
So great
excellent. And
plans.
good
Good
luck.
luck, and I
Good luck.
hope.
Good luck. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish you all the
Good
best
luck.
in those opportunities and plans.
Thank
Hopefully, everything
you.
works out your way, man.
And before Wasim leaves, one of the things I wanted to know is how how to get a business right. But we'll have a conversation in private because I mean, what Wazim would tell you that I'm kind of pursuing some land and stuff in Guyana to do something
Uh-huh.
commercial. I
Uh-huh.
haven't planned fully what it is that I want to do, but something along the lines of supplying oil and gas. Something to do with that effect. Of course, there's opportunities there, and we wanted to see what we can tap into. Definitely um, from an outside perspective, to give different ideas of how to do things down there. Because
But
like,
the president has said in well, he was at I think it was a GCCI dinner, and he addressed the gathering, and he basically said, not in these exact words, but basically his thought was, do not be afraid, and I say this to anyone, do not be afraid of partnering. Make sure your whatever you have to do is clear and it's written, but it is what will make Guyanese businesses stronger. The people who are coming into Guyana to invest
mhm,
are people who are already seasoned to this industry, right? So
correct,
they
correct.
know what it requires. They know what the push
Yeah,
needs
correct.
to happen. We here who are now catching up or learning about it, maybe you do not have all the answers or all the strength in one business, but if three business can get together, eventually that band together could actually make you a force in the industry. And I remember he giving reference to the president that is giving reference to a catering service where one person could not have done this work for oil and gas, but three of them got together, and now they're the largest caterer for Guyana that supplies oil and gas. And so there is opportunities in partnerships, and there is opportunities in being, coming together, being one,
Of course.
and strategically aligning yourself to get where you want to be.
Well, definitely, man. There's
Yeah.
lots of opportunities there, like I said. But yeah, definitely Guyana needs the outside perspective. I'm not trying to hit at anyone, but you hit on the point whereby, the exposure is definitely needed.
Yeah.
And from a different perspective, I'm quite sure WK, you travel a lot and you see things from a different lens. And when you go
Yeah.
back, you're able to kind of implement that into your business,
Correct.
which is definitely one of the upside to someone with that kind of exposure, right? If
Yeah.
you don't understand that I always remember my cousin telling me when he opened the mall, is that one of the things that he has envisioned is to give Guyanese the experience that people from abroad was experiencing that could not leave Guyana, and that's
Hmm.
before this whole boom. So it
Hmm.
was something that he wants to expose Guyanese towards, and today he has them all and definitely successful, and
Yeah.
to his point, there's a lot of other businesses that are on board. Like I go to restaurants and they're so nice looking. Even your store, for example, I've taken a look at it online, and
Yeah.
you can see it's a business that presents itself.
Correct.
It's not no bottom house business like you would say, right? And
No,
that's what
and
we
you
want to
you
see.
you you can't afford that here now. You can't afford to just open a little cake shop.
Hmm.
You have to
The
come
standards are high now,
with a
right?
standard.
Correct.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
want
Correct.
you want a certain kind of business. You have to come with a certain amount of standards, and live from where you are, right? You might be able to get all at once, but start, let people know that you're coming to standard and building it.
Hmm.
People want to see growth, people want to see things happen. And the fact is a lot of stuff is happening in Guyana. And like for instance, that mall, for instance, when the mall opened first, it was small in the sense of the couple stores that they
Correct.
had and so, but it has developed. A Starbucks is there now, and we know the pull that
Hmm.
that brings to a place, right?
Yes.
So as someone said, build it and they will come.
Come
You
here,
know,
definitely.
so you have to, but you have to build it and you have to have a vision. And I think locally here, it's really changing a lot, and a lot of people are getting on board. A lot of people are still not sure where they want to be, but hopefully the time to jump in doesn't pass,
No,
and you're left back.
no,
So we'll
definitely.
see how that goes. Yeah,
Yeah.
we too
Yeah.
have a lot of changes happening again. Well, in terms of infrastructure and the way things, the bridge is going to bring a whole new dynamics in terms of things.
Hmm.
Uh, I think what's going to happen too with the gas energy project that is happening when that comes on stream, it's going to reduce electricity, as the VP has said, by at least 50%, which means it's going to open a whole industry in terms of manufacturing. That's what I'm excited about, to see things being made locally, and and it could be affordable, because
Hmm.
we're paying right now 2 or 3 times the cost what people are in countries do manufacturing are paying for electricity. So it's gonna be but we're gonna
Yep.
see how it's gonna go. It's an exciting time.
Hmm.
I
Definitely,
don't
it's
know.
exciting time right now.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's showing. The progress is definitely showing. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I've been there 5 times last year, and this year, one so far. You can
yeah,
definitely see the difference, the change. And I always tell Wazim, when you go back to Guyana, you can see, it's night and day from when we grew up, or whatever. And you're expecting change, but to that degree, to that
yeah.
magnitude, definitely has changed.
It
To
it it has, but I don't uh, compare the two, because the money that we have now as a country as to what we had then, it's completely different, and the stream, the sources which is coming in. So and I think where we came from, like just today I was hearing somebody talking about kites,
hmm.
and this year with these Chinese plastic kites or whatever, and they're talking about tying a coconut branch at the end of a palatine for give the kite stability with tail and so they don't know about those things.
Hmm.
We came from a time where you were more outside, you were more enrooted. The communities are tighter to me. Now everybody is chasing the dollar and hustling with a business and the family, you know. So it's a completely different time. But I think the finances that this country now is experiencing sets us apart from any other thing that we've done before. As you
Hmm.
know, Guyana it has a wealthy amount of natural resources, and we have our culture, all these things. But the money that you're getting from this oil and gas industry and what it brings to a country, it's different. It's transformational compared to what those things could have possibly done, right?
Yeah.
So we
True.
I'm hoping, and we're hoping that we get where we want to be, and every Guyanese can
Hmm.
benefit from this, and we'll see how it goes.
But I
We'll
gotta
see how
tell
it goes.
you, to your point though, I mean, the way my perspective was, a lot of people hasn't gone back to Guyana for years, and that was my point. They
It's a
don't know what
shot.
to expect.
It's
They
a
don't know
shot.
exactly, and that's why you
Yeah,
try to tell them
Yeah.
exactly the transformation, because people still
yeah,
think that Guyana is, the Guyana that they know 28 years or 30 years ago,
yeah,
right? They haven't visited Guyana because they had no reason to. But now, if
yeah,
you go and see, the development, and not only that, there's so much resorts and things you can do down there. Like I said,
yeah,
I got
yeah.
busy because I was driving around with my kids and trying to show them the most parts of Guyana that they haven't seen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, with
there's a lot to see.
the influx of people, tourism now is also on the rise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're having more and more different kind of tours. You have Georgetown walking tours, you have bicycle tours, you have all these resorts, you have the interior location Rupununi tours, you have lodges in Rupununi, and there's a whole host of things can be done, because when we visit, you want them to experience your country, and you want people to get involved and see Guyana what it is. And I'm watching social media, and TikTok videos now and then popping up, and a long time when wasn't when you walk around the place and you see a white man, he stands out.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
now it's like,
He's a normal person
it's a
amongst us.
normal thing, because
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody are here, but it's working and stuff. And then you watch TikTok and you see the wife's gone home and unpacking a bag that she came from Guyana. She had cash drip and she get this knitted thing, and little things that you take for granted because you grew up seeing it, that they're
Yes.
excited about.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
they're excited about pepper pot and cassava bread and all this sort of stuff. So
Uh-huh.
because of these things now, it's creating a whole new scheme of businesses for people locally, because you can get into more, like the Americans, for instance, they maybe stuff, the knitted stuff, and so are raising,
Hmm.
or becoming more accessible, because people are demanding it. Handmade jewelry and these sort of stuff. So as people come into the country, it raising the bar, and we getting more and more entrepreneurial in terms of what we want to set
That's
out to
great to
do.
see. That's
Yeah.
excellent
Yes,
to see that.
definitely. Right. And so I'm hoping that I'm hoping, I know it will continue along this trajectory, but I'm hoping that more people locally get themselves involved and get onto these opportunities that rise ahead for us.
This is the time to take advantage of those opportunities, right?
This really is, this it really is,
It is. Mm-hmm.
But I'm not saying also to just jump in while and
No, exactly.
yeah,
Do your
have a
research.
plan and
Put some
work your
thought
plan.
to it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You have to work on the plan. You can't work all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, guys. I know we lost Rishi. He's doing a viewing right now of one of his buildings there with his clients, so
We
that was great.
Mm-hmm.
was we used to demand interview that
I thought
at
somebody
the
did.
funeral.
Maybe he said it's a big place, right? Over has a really big funeral places. He didn't want to show us on camera,
I
so
know.
Yeah.
so yeah, gotta thank Rishi, gotta thank Anil and Wasim for joining us. I know I kept you guys here late. It's coming up to 25 minutes after your 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Wow, time flies, eh?
It did.
Yeah.
Wow,
It certainly
wow,
did.
went by. It's a good conversation, guys. I really appreciate your time tonight, and hopefully we learn from each other. And the QR code thing stands out
Yeah.
from this interview tonight. So that's good,
Definitely.
Anil. We'll talk about that. I'm sure. Hopefully, some other folks reach out to you and see how
Oh,
they can incorporate that into their business or whatever they're doing in getting that review made easier for the customers.
Oh,
And
definitely. You
next
can
week,
just reach out to me as well.
just before I leave next week, I'm speaking to Miss Anansa Davis from blackcakemagic.com. She has a business called Black Cake Magic out in New York, and she'll ship, like she was just shipping cross buns over before Good Friday out. She has black cake, sponge cake, anything. Pastries, Guyana. Her business is Black Cake Magic. She's doing pretty well. I'll be talking to her, Miss Anansa Davis out in New York. So next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Tune in, guys, and we'll be speaking to Miss Anansa Davis out in New York and talking about black cake. I love to talk about food, so every time someone comes on, you guys are not really too interesting for me. You don't have food, right? Me and Rishi can have a conversation. He
I know
loves to eat
exactly.
food,
you
right?
You put him as part of
you
the
pocket
panel.
chips.
No, that's food.
Right, Wazim. Thanks for having me again.
Hey,
It was
Meg.
a really
Hey,
happy conversation. Nice meeting you
yes.
guys
Yeah, same here,
online.
buddy. Same.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it, guys. You guys have a great night with the family.
Right.
Take care.
Same for everyone. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Good night,
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And thank you, folks, who are out there for viewing the video. And next week, join me, same time, 7 Eastern. As I said, I'll be speaking to Miss Anansa Davis. She's located out in New York. Her business, you can have a look at it, check it out on Facebook. Visit her website, www.blackcakemagic.com. And it's Black Cake Magic on Facebook. It's on the Guyanese Own Business page. Her link to her page is there. And thanks to the gentlemen that were on with me tonight for the past hour and coming up to an hour and a half. Mr. Anil Sarwan, Mr. Wasim out in Guyana, and Mr. Rishi Singh. Got to thank all those guys and thank you for viewing the video and taking part. And let's continue to support each other, support Guyanese businesses and professionals on this forum. And please, I beg you again, go to YouTube. I'll upload this video later tonight onto the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the channel and we'll keep all those videos there. And also, if you can kindly do, I beg you, just leave a review on the Facebook page. Let me know what you think about what we're doing. If there's anything that you see we can improve on, get better at, all your suggestions are welcome. And thank you as always. Take care, have a blessed night, and I'll see you, as I mentioned, next week, Tuesday night, right here, same place, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, speaking to Miss Anansa Davis from Black Cake Magic. Have a great night, guys. Goodbye for now.